Hi, this is David with entry number, what is this, 647? I think this is the second day in a row I'm recording, but I'm now just realizing that. So I'm going to make this entry anyway because I've started. And I wanted to talk about something that happened to me today while I was kind of out. Um, um, Out by the old palace. And something that happens over there on a daily basis is this kind of protest of the government in terms of its inefficiency or incapability of protecting people in its public in like the public I don't know, day to day kind of life. These people are there for the ferry that crashed a little over about a year and a half ago, and 2 years almost, and they're there every day for the whole day, and they're trying to pass out flyers, and they're kind of saying some things. And today, I heard some yelling, and I turned around, and the woman, the small, nice woman, young, probably about 20, 25, 24, was getting absolutely accosted, not touched, but accosted, assaulted by these two older guys. And probably the guys were probably in their 60s or 70s. And they were just giving her, you know, the what for? Like, seriously, like yelling at her and getting right up in her face. They weren't spitting on her, which I've seen sometimes Koreans will do when they get really angry, but they were like screaming at her, like right in her face. And there was nothing she could do because, in that situation, there really isn't anything you can really do. And she just stood there and took it. And, it was kind of a very strange thing to see. Obviously, it's not something that happens every day here. And I've been to that area multiple times in the last couple months, and I've never seen it before. But this time, it was a special time, I guess. And it was really weird. And, you know, in the US, I think everyone would be on the side of kind of the protesters here, where, you know, you do want the government to take some kind of responsibility when there are huge public accidents like the ferry crashing. There needs to be some kind of oversight. And really, what happened in Korea was that there was this big accident. Everyone mourned, and then the government shelled out, millions of dollars to the families and the people who lost children and relatives and stuff. And and I think then the government kind of expected people just to be quiet and be happy with the money they got as a reparations for the loss of their family member. And it's like, yeah, I mean, the money's nice, but of course money doesn't equal life. And I think that's kind of a big disconnect that the government really had with the accident. And I think a lot of Korean people rightfully took this as a big insult, as a big thumb in the eye. And so, I think a lot of them kept the money, but yeah, there's definitely a sense of there's an energy around that area because it's so raw. The emotion is so raw that it really brings out, I think, nationalism in the old timers who really like the government, respect the government, because the current party that's in power is like fairly conservative, actually very conservative. And so you have these kind of old timers that are conservative and just are very like, don't question the government, don't do anything against the government, follow rules, follow law, follow everything. And you have these younger people my age and younger and maybe a little older, but that are kind of born in kind of a westernized Korea that is like, no, this isn't how it's supposed to be. This isn't normal. This isn't good. This isn't right. This isn't fair. And so you have this like big dichotomy. And to some extent it happens in the U.S., but I think to a very much lesser extent and a much greater here. So it's a very interesting thing to see. And today was a big wake up call. Like, wow, this is kind of crazy. And luckily, there's police everywhere around that area because of these tensions. And so they didn't step in, but they were like watching like hawks, like ready to jump in if like he touched her or anything. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk with you in a couple days. Bye.